Hello, movie lovers. It's Friday afternoon. I know it's kind of early. It's not 5 o'clock or 5:30 or 4:30. It's only, what time is it? It's only 12:30, basically. Friday afternoon. Thought I'd get on here a little bit earlier. Why? Who knows? I just got done watching Ian's video, poker ball, over there in Wales. He's got his numbers ratings. 7, 8s, and 9s, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But he's doing a new style today. So I like it. I can kind of relate to an 8 or a 9 or a 7 or a 6. And under that's 5s and 4s, and forget about it after that, right? But yeah, I watched this video. He watched some good movies this week, very good movies. I watched Von Ryan's Express is a very good movie he watched. I seen that at the show when I was a teenager. It's a little different than the book. Of course, you got to read the book. I'm not going to tell you anything because I don't want to spoil it. I'm not on here to spoil things for you. Talk about movies. I try my best not to spoil things. That's why sometimes I talk about movies and sometimes you can't talk about too much. It's like watching trailers. Sometimes you see a trailer and you think to yourself, well, I like watching trailers too, but some of them are like, whoa, that's a little bit too much. But hey, what are you going to do? So it's cold here in Toronto. The sky's a little blue. It's trying to get out there to be blue. Yes, the Leafs are playing tonight, tomorrow night, so it's go Leafs, go time. Toronto Maple Leaf fan here. You probably already know that. So let's talk about the movies I watched this week. The book, of course, the book. All right, let's see, start. All right. I think I ended with fences. Yeah, I think that was on the last video. Well, let's talk about the first movie I watched. It has to do with a woman. Wonder Woman. Yes, Wonder Woman, 84. The one everybody's been talking about. Well, I finally got around to watching it. And I just thought I'd let you know that it's not as good as the first one. The first one was, what did I give the first one? An 8 or a 9 or something like that. The first one was pretty good. Very good movie. This one doesn't quite reach that potential. But it's not a bad movie. It's not really a bad movie, right? I mean, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7. Wonder Woman gets a 7. Gal Gadot, yeah. Steve Trevor, yeah, but I get it. Thing is, most people are disappointed in this movie. But as old as I am, seeing that I'm older than a lot of you that I know of, the ones that I know, people I know, other than Mike, a lot of people are a lot younger than I am. Some of you people read comic books, some of you don't, some of you just watch the movies, which is okay. I remember when I was a younger kid version of myself, used to read comic books. And back in the early 60s, DC comic books, or Warner Brothers, they had a series of stories called Imaginary Stories, right? Lois Lane marries Superman, imagine, right? Batman, marries somebody, and along the lines of that. Of course, Marvel Comics came out with the same idea a while later. They both, Marvel and DC, each played off each other, stole each other's ideas. It happens back then. But this kind of reminded me, Wonder Woman 84, reminded me of one of those imaginary stories. Imagine, if you had a wish, what would you wish for? Come on. Be honest. I'm honest right now. I'll tell you, if I had a wish, I'd wish my wife was here with me right now, Kathleen. Kathleen was here right now. Somebody says, Bob, you got a wish. What do you wish for? Of course, wish for Kathleen to be here. You know, you don't think about anything else, all this whatever shit. So what did Wonder Woman do? She got a chance to have a wish. She wished for Steve Trevor. If I was her, I'd do it too. So, you know, even though that guy that, when you first saw him, I'm thinking to myself, who's that guy? But anyway, he was the rest of the movie Steve Trevor, except for, well, I won't say the rest, but so Steve Trevor's in this movie with Wonder Woman. That's how he gets there. She wishes. And there's this other guy that is in the movie too. He does a lot of wishing, and he makes people do wishes for him, and he takes their wishes and stuff. It's you got to watch the movie, but it's not a bad movie. Okay, I mean, the way people are talking about it, come on, you know, I give it a 7. That's it. What else did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched this Breach 2020. Yeah, 2020 Breach. Bruce Willis, Thomas Jane, Johnny Mesner, and Cody Kersley. You know, whoever some of these people are. Of course, it takes place on a spaceship, right? They're heading out to another planet, people. Another planet here. Yeah, they're leaving Earth because Earth is kind of like a shitsville now, right? So messed up and, you know, same old, same old. So they're heading out to a new planet. As this movie's going along here, I'm sitting here watching it going, it seems a little familiar. You know, you see a few of these movies over the last 20, 30 years or whatever. But this movie reminds me of Alien. Yeah, it's leaning towards that. Alien, right? There's something odd about this spaceship. Something's scurrying, or something's going on here, right? Well, guess what? There is some weird something going on in this spaceship. And it's an ugly looking son of a bitch. It's some kind of a friggin', let's call it a monster for monster's sake. Right? So there's a monster on board this ship. Of course, he's going around killing everybody. Right? Going around killing everybody, stuff like that. So anyway, blah blah blah. Bruce Willis, he's not in it that often. He's in it, but not. Bruce Willis does not carry the movie, if you know what I mean. He mailed in, yeah, he picked up the check, and you know, one of those Bruce Willis movies. He's been making a few of those over the years. Yeah. All right. So what did I give that? I gave it a 6. Doesn't rate any higher than a 6. All right. Now on TCM, I watched a movie called The Glass Key, 1942. Brian Dunleavy, Alan Ladd, and Veronica Lake. Now, Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake was another movie before this or after this one. Confusing. I get mixed up sometimes, like I always say. Anyway, the henchman to a shady political kingpin must get his boss out of hot water with local racketeers and the police who suspect him of murder in the death of a wastrel son of a preferred candidate. Now, I don't know what a wastrel son is. I don't know whether he's bad or he's drunk or he's doing stupid shit or whatever that word means. I'll have to look it up in the dictionary. But yeah, Brian Dunleavy is the political guy. He's like a mayor or something, I guess. And Alan Ladd is, you know, the guy that takes care of him. He's the heavy guy, you know, with the gun in his pocket. And Veronica Lake, she's about 5 feet tall, long blonde hair. Everybody knows Veronica Lake if you watch old movies, right? She's nice looking. She's a very nice looking girl. So it's pretty with these wavy blonde hair. Nice. Anyway, she's the daughter of one of these, what do you call it, candidates that are running for the city and stuff like that or whatever. But it's not a bad movie. There's action in it, here and there, fights. William Bendix is in it as a tough guy. You know, he punches the shit out of Alan Ladd here and there over the course of the movie. But it's a pretty good movie. Yeah. I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's a film noir, right? You know, black and white. Anyway, that gives a 7 out of 10, people. 7 out of 10. Now, if this was on again, you could watch this one again. No problem. It's a good movie. Now, on Netflix, I watched a movie called The Five Bloods. I think it was Chadwick Boseman's last movie. I don't know if that's right or not, but Chadwick Boseman, you know, the Black Panther, the actor that was in the Black Panther, yeah, him. He passed away last year. I think it was last year. 4 African Americans, veterans, returned to Vietnam to find their squadron leader's remains. He passed away. He died, got shot, you know, in the jungle and stuff. And they also are looking for a stash of gold. Gold. Yeah, they can, you know, they're gold. They're looking for the gold too. I don't know how many years after this is. Probably, I don't know how many years this is, but these are all old guys. Probably in their 60s. Got to be at least in their 60s. When was the Vietnam War over? 71? 74? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't remember. I'm Canadian. Anyway, it's not a bad movie. You know, a lot of talking and stuff. But as it gets going, it takes a while to, what's that word, to kind of get going, right? So it's not a bad movie. You know, it's okay. I give it a 7. It's worth a watch. You know, it's okay. It's worth a watch. A little, like I said, a little slow. But once it starts picking up, it's all right. 7. 7, big 7. If you want to call it that. Big 7. Anyway, let's move it on. I'll call on, that was on Netflix. I said that, right? So now we're talking about a movie called The Call of the Wild. You know, Jack London, right? Yeah. Harrison's in it. What's his name? Jack London, yeah. He's, it's a dog, but a big dog, right? Harrison Ford's not the dog. Harrison Ford's the main guy in it telling the story and stuff, right? So yeah, it's about a dog, what do you call it? I think it's a St. Bernard dog. But he gets adventures throughout the movie and stuff like that. So I really liked this movie. I really enjoyed this one. It was fun sitting on my couch and sucking back a tea or a coffee or whatever and having lunch and watching Call of the Wild. Yeah, I gave it an 8, big 8. Big 8. You haven't seen Call of the Wild? Watch it. It's fun. All right, now I watched another movie. Now, this movie, I've seen bits and pieces over the years. I either saw the end, I saw the middle, I saw the beginning, you know, those type of things, right? So now I finally got around to watch the whole bloody thing. Yeah, I know, I'm going to talk about it. But anyway, it's The Fly. 1986, The Fly. Okay? Jeff Goldblum, right? That's all you say his name. And Gina Davis. Now, Gina Davis is a very nice looking lady. Even back in the 80s, she was very nice looking. She's nice looking today, you know, 30, 40 years later, you know. But very nice looking lady. Now, The Fly, most of you know the story about The Fly. The original Fly was back in, what, the 40s, 50s, something like that. And there's 3, 4, 5 of those movies, The Fly. Now, I only have the one, the original, The Fly, right? Vincent Price. That's it. I don't really need the other ones. I have no intentions of, you know, getting the old Fly, the black and white ones. I just like the first one, the original Fly, and that's it. Now, this one's 86, comes in color everywhere, comes in colors everywhere. Oh, that's a song. Yeah, so this guy, he lives in a, oh, what do you call those places? Oh, I don't know. What do you? I can't remember what's in loft or some kind of a loft. I think it's a loft. You know, those big metal doors that slide open and all that stuff. He lives there and works there and stuff like that, right? So he takes her back there to his place, and he's got these teleporting machines, and he tells her that he can teleport. You know. Takes her nylon off. She takes her nylon off, puts it in the teleport, and he teleports it over to the other machine, you know, over there, over there on the other side of the room. Y'all know the story. Anyway, he does it later on for himself. He, he gets a bright idea. That's what he's looking for, to teleport human beings, people, right? So he teleports himself. The only problem is there was a fly in it. So as he comes out, he has acts like a fly, sexual thing is, working overtime and stuff. And he starts getting to be an ugly human being, so she leaves, and he's there by himself. So, he likes sweets, so he puts sugar in his coffee. Most people put 1 or 2 spoons in, right? He puts like 8 or 10 in there, right? Sucks back the coffee. I was like, holy shit, man. Anyway, now, I usually don't pick on movies most of the time. I just, watch the movie, Bob, shut the fuck up, right? But this one here, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so who brought him in the pack of donuts? What did he phone up the grocery store? What about the Captain Crunch, the box of cereal, right? Did he go to the grocery store and pick that up? Did he have home delivery? Did they have deliveries in those days? What about the lemon pie? What about the ding-dongs, right? What about all those cookie packages, right? What about, the nut bars and where the hell did all that come from, right? He's inside, and he's turning more and more into this ugly-looking bastard, right? He looks like a fly. He's got hair growing out of his back. And he's still sucking back these friggin' donuts and stuff. There's Gene Davis' character dropping packages at his front door full of donuts and cakes and lemon tarts and all that. I think about weird things when I watch movies. I think, where the hell's all this friggin' food coming from? All this sweets. He hasn't left his apartment in months, right? Who's paying his electric bills for him, right? Who's paying the heat bill for him, right? You know what I mean? That's all this weird stuff I think about. He's been in this apartment for months now, and he's still sucking back donuts and lemon tarts. I don't know. I gave it a 7 out of 10. But if you don't think too much about the movie, it's a good movie. Help me! Yeah, right. Anyway, 7 out of 10. That's it. I don't own this movie. Yeah, where did I watch that at, The Fly? Probably the Movie Channel. Yeah, here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Anyway, what else did I watch? Oh, I watched on Rogers Cave TV 2 here. I watched a movie called The High Note. I thought I'd change it up a bit. I watched this movie called The High Note, 2020. An assistant to a superstar wants to produce music. That's the general idea. So she meets this nice young black guy, right? Young guy, singer, guitars and stuff, and she wants to produce him. So he says, yeah, okay, and stuff like that. And he finds out down the road that she never produced anybody before in her life. He's the first one. So he gets mad at her. They get a little upset and stuff like that. So that's okay. And then the lady that she works for, which is Tracy Ellis Ross, which is the superstar, kind of reminds you a little bit of Diana Ross, So the movie stars Dakota Johnson and Tracy Ellis Ross. Tracy Ellis Ross is in Blackish, right? On TV, on the TV show, right? About the black family. But anyway, it's all right. It's just a movie. I thought I'd watch something different. Sometimes they do that, right? So I gave it a 7. The High Note, 2020. Yeah. Thursday. All right. I watched. Oh, it's gonna my throat, Bob. What's this? Jumper. 2008. Hayden Christensen and Jamie Bell. Guy finds out he can jump from, say he's here sitting here, right? He can jump all the way over to Egypt. Let's say Paris. He can jump from here to Paris, right? He can jump inside bank vaults, pick up a bag of money and jump back to his apartment, right? So he's doing all this stuff. But there's also people that are looking for these guys, these jumpers, and they kill them, right? Yeah. So they gotta watch out for that. He doesn't know that until he comes across one of these people that are looking for him, right? So who the hell is this? But anyway, Jumper. Yeah, it's called Jumper, which is all right. It's a good movie. Where am I putting these at? Jumper. Yeah, I gave it a 7. And then I watched this movie, Siberia, 2020, starring, what's his name, William Dafoe? Yeah, William Dafoe. Clint, an English speaker, has abandoned his former life and runs a bar up north. Right, way up there north where it's cold, right? It's freezing, snow, everything, you name it. You got a bar up there. Every once in a while, a customer drops in and has a shot of whiskey, right? And then he dreams about stuff. He dreams about his wife. He dreams about his son. He dreams about this and that. And sometimes I get confused whether he's dreaming or this is real or what's going on here. And I went, no, I don't know. So I watched the whole thing, but I wouldn't watch this movie again. No, I probably have it somewhere or keep it, but I don't know. I doubt very much if I'll watch it again. I gave it a 5. Gets a 5 out of a 10. Siberia, 2020. Yeah. Okay. What else? Oh, Thursday. The Runaways. Everybody knows The Runaways. You know, Cherry Bomb, right? Runaways, story of the Runaways, Kristen Stewart, right? She's Joan Jett. Everybody knows Joan Jett. Hey, baby, drop another dime in the jukebox, right? Well, that was after the Runaways. And Dakota Fanning. She's been in lots of movies, Dakota Fanning. Started off as a young little girl. I don't know how old she was in her first movie, but she was young. Anyway, she plays the Cherry Bomb. She's just a regular kid. They pick her up. She gets turned into the lead singer, and things don't work out very well for her and stuff like that, right? And she gets drunk and take dope and drugs and you name it, and all the shit hits the fan. And boy, this is based on a true story. Well, anyway, that was 2010. The Runaways. It's a big 7. Some good music being played here too, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. But that's got nothing to do. Well, it's a bit of Joan Jett in there, right? But she's in the movie Joan Jett. Kristen Stewart's Joan Jett. What else? All right, Kill Shot. Here, moving along, Bob. Kill Shot. Mickey Rourke, Diane Lane, mainly those guys, right? He's a killer. He's an assassin. He shoots people. Anyway, he gets hired to go kill this old guy, right? It's by this. I'll tell you a little bit, but he gets hired, right, by this guy, right, which is the old guy's son-in-law, right? Married to the old guy's daughter. Anyway, Mickey Rourke gets to go to his apartment, right? Right? Don't worry about it, just, go to the apartment. The old guy's there with this young broad, right? She's got to be like in her early 20s. So she opens the door up, right? She's standing there with a, I don't know, blouse on or something on. Her tits are hanging out. She lets him in. He walks in, right? I think his name is William Wildon. Anyway, he's an old actor. He's been in lots of stuff. Anyway, he's there, right? Yeah, well, yeah, your son-in-law sent me to kill you. Anyway, yeah, well, at least let me put my shirt on and, my jacket on. Yeah, okay. So he lays down, covers him up with a sheet, blows, shoots him in the head. Shoots him in the head. Fine. And then the shower's running. She's in there having the shower. He walks in, opens up the door, and she stands there and goes, yeah? And he shoots her in the friggin' head. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think he was supposed to do that. I don't think he was supposed to shoot her and kill her. Find out later on, Bob's right. He wasn't supposed to kill her. Now the guy, right, is mad at him. Now he wants to kill Mickey Rourke, right? Now everybody's after Mickey Rourke. And then, then he goes and meets up with this other nutbar that reminds him of his brother. And you gotta watch the movie. You gotta watch it. I give it a 7. It's all right. It's a good movie. You can watch it, no problem. 7. Kill Shot. What did I say? 2008. Then I watched Deliverance. 1972's Deliverance. Jon Voight and Burt Reynolds. Summertime. Yes, they're gonna fill in the area with water. All this area is getting covered in water. All these houses are gone. The trees are gone. This little river right where you run your canoe down, that's gonna disappear. So before all this disappear, we're Jon Voight and Burt Reynolds, a couple of his buddies, they're gonna go take a canoe ride down, right down the water, right, for the weekend. Nothing wrong with that idea. That sounds like a great idea. But something happens that it changes the whole weekend. Yeah, that changes the whole weekend. And things are totally different, right? So now, right, instead of having a nice weekend with the, you know, their friends and together and, you know, riding down the rafts and stuff, no, terrible weekend. The shit hits the fan. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you anymore. Deliverance, 1972, and I give it an 8. A big 8. Deliverance. What else did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched this one here. Changeling. The Changeling, or Changeling, 2008. Angelina Jolie, takes place in 1928. She's a young mother. She works at the answering service, Bell Canada or whatever. You know, where they sit there and they plug in things back in those days, you know. And she's rolling around on roller skates. That's what they did in the 1920s. Running up and down the aisles with roller skates. Excuse me from coughing. What happens if you don't talk all day? You can get on there talking. It's hard to... I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I got a tickle. But yeah, okay, so John Malkovich is in it too, and it was directed and produced by Clint Eastwood. You're right. So yeah, she gets called in to work, right? One of the people can't make it. Anyway, she gets called in to work, right? Her and her son were supposed to go to the show in the park on, you know, Saturday. Anyway, she comes home and her son's not there. He's gone. Calls the cops and the cops say, you know, sorry, we can't do anything about it until, you know, 24 hours and all that stuff. And then later on, the cops say, oh, we got your son, we're bringing him back home, and, you know, so she's great, she's feeling lovely and great. Goes to the train station, the lady and the cop brings this kid off the train and gives him back to his mother, and she stands there and says, that's not my son. And the cop says, sure, it's your son. You haven't seen him for months. There, it's your son. She's going, no, that's not my son. Yeah, it's not her son. So, oh my goodness, things start happening then, right? Well, who is, you know, she's giving the cops a hard time. The cops are saying, it's your son. And she's going, no, it's not. Take your son home and look after him. So the kid goes home with her, and the kid's not, like, we know that that's not her son, right? So, anyway, The Changeling, 2008, gets a big 7. It's a very interesting story. Based on a true story, this really did happen. Can you watch this movie and you think anything and everything that happened in this movie, you're sitting there dumbfounded going, really? This could really happen? Or this really happened? And it's hard to believe, but it's like, yeah, yeah. Newspaper articles back then, and it's like, yeah, it really did happen. Yeah, shit, man. And today's what, 2021 now? And, you know, strange shit happens still today. It's hard to believe. All right, change them. That's it. Okay, I'm taking up enough of your time, people. This one, Harry Brown, Michael Caine, 2009. Pretty sure it's 2009. He's an old guy. They're all old guys. They're living in a, what is it? What do they call it over in England? The project? Or anyway, you know, I don't like to say it, but you know, but the poor people, they put poor people in these so-called poor people. But there's gangs there, so there's kids running around there, and they're all nasty pieces of work, right? You know? So they pick on the old guys, and one of Harry's buddies, you know, they're bugging him, right? They throw shit bags on his mailbox and light it on fire in his all apartment. Harry's buddy, that's the apartment, you know, and the smoke fills up, and anyway, they kill Harry's buddy. They kill the old guy. You know, through a route underneath the ground they get from one side of the street, you know, instead of walking, taking the long way around, crossing the lights, there's an underground, right? And that's where all the punks hang out, doing dope, having sex with each other and all that stuff. Anyway, so the old guy, Harry's buddy, goes down there to take care of business. They beat him up and kill him and stuff. And then Harry's at the bar having a drink and stuff like that. And he goes home, and because he flashed a few bucks in the bar, right? This punk that's, you know, steps out of the shadows and does Harry, all right, give me your money. I want that stuff you got in your pocket. He pulls his knife. He's got the knife up in front. He goes, he's waving around. The next thing you know, Harry grabs a hold of the knife, turns the knife on the fucker, and Harry goes, right? Frig, man. Like, that was fast. You wouldn't think it was so fast, but it was like, anyway, yeah, now the guy's like, this punk's dead, and Harry's walking home, and it's like, oh my shit. I've seen this movie a few times over the years. Yes, this wasn't my first view. But anyway, Harry Brown, this is a very good story. I like it. I like it because the old guy kicks ass, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. This one gets an 8, a big 8 out of 10 for Harry Brown. Harry Brown, Michael Caine. Well, that's it, people. I do hope everybody's staying safe and everybody stays home. I hope everybody wears their mask. I don't know what to say. Here in Canada, Ontario, it's bad. And every day that goes by, it gets worse. And some of the things people do, it's unbelievable. You know, the other day, the worst thing I heard this week was the other day here in the news, a young doctor, had 2 little boys and her husband, and she probably wasn't that old, probably in her 30s, early 30s, nice looking lady, nice looking doctor. She took her own life. Yeah, she took her own life, and she said she wasn't doing enough. It's hard to believe, but that was very, very, very sad. They watched that on the news. But yeah, like I said, here in Ontario and Toronto, it's every day it seems to be bad. So I do hope you're all staying safe. Keep watching those movies. And the Leafs are playing tonight and tomorrow. Yeah, I thought they were playing Montreal tomorrow, but they played Montreal on Wednesday. I got that mixed up and confused. They're playing tonight in Ottawa, and they're playing Ottawa again tomorrow night, I think. So much going on. Well, anyway, it's like, go Leafs, go. So there you go, people. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe and be nice to each other. Peace.